welcome to the stream. I've just realised my hair looks incredibly short from last time. Anyway, that's really besides the point. Welcome back to the Duck and Raven.
Again?
Yeah, I've burnt all my hair off. But yes, we are back for the third episode after everybody's beaten up a lot of bugs on a ship. That's pretty much what previously happened, and that's all it boils down to. Now, so yeah, we've got two members who arrived on the ship on a salvage mission with a few of their friends from a space. Well, I say friends. One was a vulture that got shot in the head. The other one got blown up by a new person. Yeah, they've met some new friends in some cryopods who've been sleeping for 12 years, and all joined up to go smash some bugs known as Rachni on the ship, a species thought to have been dead for a long time. Funnily enough, this isn't the first time they've reappeared after supposedly being extinct, but who's counting?
Coming back.
Who knows? But yeah, after being thought abandoned by their colleague salvagers, they cleared out the entirety of the ship and brought back Captain Pickett's little orb. And I remember I said it was nearly a meter wide. I think I meant to say half a meter, so it's nearly half a meter in width. Or what's the word?
Yeah, it enough. His full embrace worth of
with
kind of...
It would have pretty much been the size of Captain Pickett's whole body if it was almost a meter across. No, it's like half a meter across. But anyway, it's this strange, almost looks like it's got a swirling storm inside of it. It's very pretty to look at. But just like Pippin found out, it's not always good to just grab random orbs that look pretty.
Wow, spoilers.
But yeah, you gave him that under some duress. He offered all of his other fancy goods in his box if you just let him keep his orb. But the ship's now clear, as what you think of. There is still a hole in the top, but it's kind of sealed. Your friends have come back, and you were just dishing out the goodies that you got. So I don't know if you agreed last time who was having what out of those special items, or if you're still fighting over them.
I found out that I can't have I can't have the thing that's most beneficial to.
Which one's
was that?
that?
Still right? I think it was the
Stability dampers. Yeah, he wants stability.
No, not that one. The hang on, where was it? I misheard you. I heard ability. I was like, do we have those? Yeah,
yes,
no.
I'm going to dampen your abilities. Just
stability dampers don't go on pistols, and that's unfortunate for him.
I wanted to ask Drekmore what kind of armor he used before claiming the one there for myself.
Oh, I use heavy armor.
Oh, then yeah, I can take it because it's medium.
Sweet.
I think you're the one person that could benefit from that, because... Oh no,
I also wear medium armor.
Yeah, I was going to say, Leah can.
I also wear medium armor.
Oh, because
it's just that I don't particularly care for 1 AC. He can have it. He is the person who needs to take more hits to the face.
Yeah, so far I'm the front line with Drekmore, so...
Yeah, and
Thank God you guys are here.
Trekmore has offered to resize the armor, because currently it's like child size, or rotund child size, I should say.
No, I offered to put modern weapons, because that's resizing armor's armor smith's tool bench.
But your weapon.
Yeah, I can do that.
Sorry, got it mixed up. So we got one person that can do the armor, one person that can do the weapons. No, that's fine.
We have two people who can do the weapons, actually, and that's potentially useful because those stack.
Real quick, I'm gonna try and play this music playlist and see if it works. See if it works through the bot. Just a forewarning for you, Tom. Here it goes. Fucking Jesus!
No.
Why did that not work? No audio could be found.
So yeah, apparently Discord's decided that it doesn't want to do YouTube music anymore, so that kills off most of our options for music.
I thought this worked.
So,
I wonder.
Go on.
I wonder Would Russian bots still work? They don't care.
I'll let you try and figure that out in the background. But yeah,
Do you know what though? Wouldn't it be if we're playing music through Spotify, because it's available to be accessed by everybody? Would that still fall under copyright?
yes, it would.
Do you know what I mean?
Because Twitch/YouTube picks up on these things just from sound alone.
Oh my god.
Apparently, with Twitch, you can get copyrights for certain musics, but I don't know how to go about that at the moment. And anyway, we're small time at the moment. We're not like anything super special yet. So yes,
I'm gonna try one more, real quick. Let's see if it was just that playlist or. Nope. Okay, it just doesn't work.
I've got some
fair
music anyway. But yeah, you're currently just in the hold of the ship. You know your salvage vessel has redocked. So yeah, what would you like to do at this point? Captain Pickett is still sat on the sofa, just like huddling this orb to his chest in its wrappings.
Could I has the extended grip? I think I can use that. I think we need to distribute the Medigel.
You can have extended grip. I don't know why would you want to even go that, because it's for melee, but yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, no, I don't want it then.
You actually, you doubly don't want this. It's like literally turning every finesse melee weapon into non-finesse melee weapon.
No, I definitely don't want it. I would like maybe chemist supplies?
Or the magazine
Oh wait,
upgrade.
I could use magazine upgrade. I think. I'll double check. Why did I make such a specific character?
Because you're you.
I mean, yeah, there'll be stuff for you, and
That's what I do every time.
There's a lot of stuff that you can use. I can literally use only one of those things,
Yeah.
and I gave it up.
That is true, yeah.
So Teu's going to grab hold of the survivor armor. Not currently his size, but will be soon. Clint's having the magazine upgrade.
Hopefully.
Who can do with the extended grip and stability dampener?
If he can't use it, because it's for pistols, he actually wanted to ask if it was okay if he puts it on a pistol, which isn't rules wise a thing that could happen.
Oh, what, the
It
stability damper?
kind of makes no sense.
Let me see.
No, it doesn't, and I would probably say that no, it wouldn't work since it is literally just for everything else but pistols.
Yeah, fair. I
Uh,
can take it if no one needs it, because I will eventually use guns, just not at the moment.
or we could, it sells for what, 5,000? We could convert it to. How do we do that thing with Omnigel then? Converting it to, Omnigel.
You don't. You need mods for this, and I have mods and workshops. So yeah, I can just elect to goo things.
Convert to goo. I could use the magazine upgrade, yeah. That seems to work fine for me.
It gains additional heat equal to its base heat, which is pretty good.
Also, speaking of tools, I would probably end up. We don't have Omnigel, right? So since we need Omnigel to repurpose the armor, we would need to break something down. And I think the best course of action here is to break down Tayu's old armor.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would work. My stock armor.
Use the two from it. Use the 2 Omnigel you get from it, and keep the 10.
Oh no, sorry. The
How long would that
magazine-
take, though?
The magazine upgrade does half extra heat, not full extra heat.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't it doesn't have like a literal. I think it says something like 10 minutes to gooify. That's about it.
Make it goo.
Well, I don't know
Uh,
if we should do that after getting to the actual station.
I mean, we have quite a few minutes there to do this on the way.
Yeah, you'll have a couple hours travelling back on the salvage ship anyway, so you could do stuff like that on the way there.
I'm also interested in. Oh yeah, we should distribute the metagel. I only want one. People who are more likely to heal people should take the others, I think.
I believe you can carry 2 at a time normally.
Four, I think.
4. There we go.
Yeah, or at least 4 for my armor.
Everyone can carry 4. 2 is for grenades. You can only carry
That's it.
2 grenades.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll just take one of the metagel. So we got 7.
I was going to say, didn't we work out that it was 2 each, but 2 of us took 1?
Yeah.
Because I only needed 1.
Well, Leah, if you're medic route, then at some point yours, you can make them do special things.
Yeah. I was going to say, because I started with 3, so I only need 1 to take me up to full, or someone else can have it. It doesn't really matter.
So yeah, I've taken mine. Everybody else take yours.
Mark them down.
And then
So should I take 1 or 2? I wasn't really paying attention, sorry.
me and Matt took 1. So you guys can take 2.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that works. Sorry, I just had to do the maths then. I was like, was this working? But yeah, so the other guys take 2 each. Cool. As you're like handing out the stuff and figuring things out between you guys, obviously creating your own little team at this point, the Turian figure from before, which Kalint and Leah know as Gabalus, a heavy armoured Turian, with most of his face covered apart from his mouth, which doesn't usually express much emotion at all. Not that most people can understand Turian emotions, I guess it's mostly in the mandibles. But he kind of like stomps in quite heavily. You can easily hear him approaching from miles off as he clinks down the walkway and comes in and kind of like surveys the area, looking at mostly the dead bugs that are scattered around. And then he glances up towards the back of the cargo hold itself and sees the dead vulture. Well, that's one less that I'm going to have to deal with.
Oh god. It cut out.
Oh.
Yeah.
It cut out and it stopped the stream.
Oh god. Kill the stream! Apparently it doesn't...
Something with that is...
It doesn't like the reverb, I guess, which I'm trying to do for the Turians.
Yeah, it's a bit too echoey.
Let me try a little less reverb.
By the way, real quick, what do we should put? We should do a sheet for like communal gear or something.
I will
So you
do
can-
that.
Thank you.
I quite literally have like a gigantic tank for Omnigel.
Yeah, but it's not Omnigel yet. And we could put some upgrades and shit there too.
There you go. So that's that.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I have the chemist supplies?
I don't think anyone else
No.
is fighting for... Oh, there you go. Leah's going to rob them from you.
No.
She sees your interest in them and it's like, no, I'm taking them.
First come, first serve. I'm grabbing it.
But yeah, Gavalus has looked and seen like the vulture body. It looks like you took care of that one for me. how fares the ship? Is it in decent condition?
Define decent.
I mean, will it get back to the station? I know the engines from the outside look absolutely fucked, but is there anything we can do from the inside?
It's fucked.
Yeah.
It has virtually no power.
Not to
There's
mention
the
there's a
whole
giant
matter of-
hole in it.
Yeah, there's a giant hole on the top deck.
As the
Blocked with some kind of goo.
as the others start talking, he kind of like finally seems to take in like the Krogan and other Drell and Asari, and just kind of like looks at them one at a time. There weren't any life signs on the scans. Where did these come from?
They were taking it
Cryogenic.
easy in cryo sleep.
Speaking of which, we should probably get to waking up the rest.
Hmm.
I mean, if these ones helped you out, then I've got nothing against it. But you do notice he still like reaches down, puts his hand on the quite large, even though it's folded up, pistol at his hip.
That's a fine firearm.
Well, you've seen it in action plenty enough times. Does me good.
You ever think about selling it?
You don't even get a response. The helmet just turns your way and stares at you.
I'll twirl my pistol a bit and just be like, I'm something of a connoisseur of heavy pistols.
This one's for lawmen only. Not quite your bandit type.
I could be a lawman.
There's just a slight shake of the head, and then he turns back and looks at Teu, who I assume is going to go towards his Hanar compatriots.
Yeah, I don't really care much for anyone else, so...
Oh, wow.
Oh, if that's the case, then I'll wake the others up.
I actually don't even know who there is other than the Batarian and my Hanners.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know what to make of waking up the Batarian.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Teu, you step up and just having a quick glance at the... Oh, God, the music suddenly got really loud. Having a quick glance at the vitals for the Hanar in their cryo tubes, you can see they're absolutely fine. One of them that had been undocked is now like charging up quite nicely and would last for quite some time. But yeah, they're fine to wake up if you want to wake them up now.
Good, then yes, I'll wake them up, and is kneeling too much? Like...
Probably is a bit much.
Maybe.
They're not quite like treat me as God kind of thing. But yeah, I guess you can kind of give them a little bow as they wake up. They're not quite as elegant as the rest, as they are literally jellyfish in an ice tank. And as they kind of like wake up and start like hovering out, the tentacles just kind of like splay everywhere. It looks more like something from a horror film if it wasn't like bright pink and didn't quite look as threatening.
Leah just kind
I'm
of
always
says.
stone-faced.
Leah just kind of says quietly, "That's terrifying."
This one
You'll get
is
used to it.
this one is thankful to the one Teu, and rests its long tendril. This isn't sounding right. A tentacle on like your shoulder, your shoulder, in kind of like a thankful kind of way. And the female one also floats up and goes, "Yes, this one is also grateful for your patronage. Are we at our destination now?"
We're on our way there, right, DM?
Yes, you're not there at the moment.
Okay.
You're still on your ship, just floating along.
Okay, then well, I can't look them in the eye, but I'll look at them wherever is appropriate to look to at a Hanar.
In the tentacle.
The tentacles, yeah.
Directly in the tentacles, yes. No. No, you just I guess you kind of vaguely look up at the body part. There's no eyes to say that, but there is like the little bit at the front that kind of serves as a head.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a head. Yeah. And I'll say, not yet. Our ship ran into some trouble. Apparently, Rack and I were attempting to kidnap a lot of the cryopods. In fact, I gesture towards the ones that are missing. Many of them are gone, and one of your pods was already disengaged when we came out. However, we managed to secure the ship and are currently on our way to the station. Should be there in a couple hours.
So I'm going to say this goes unnoticed by everybody else, but due to your background, Teo, I'm assuming you've had the eye enhancements to see the colour changes of like ultraviolet and stuff in the Hanar, and you kind of see
That
this...
would very much make sense.
Yeah. You see the rippling kind of colours in them that you know is like of almost like panic. But it kind of subsides as you like give them the talk, and they both turn to you, and both of them put tentacles on either shoulder and go, "You have served more than anyone ever could. We are highly thankful for you. We will give you the greatest of honours when we give back to society once the war is over."
I would be honored. Speaking of which, what happened with the war? We woke up 12 years later. I don't suppose it's still going. I turned to Pete and Kalint and Leah because I guess, and the Turian.
What would you like to know? What was the question?
What happened with the war, the Reaper War?
Oh. Where? Oh shit! Where was I? Was on the Citadel, I guess, during that.
Yeah, for part of it. It had been a few months of it started when you left the Citadel with Leah, and soon after, the relays exploded, basically, leaving you stranded and no outside connections or communications to the rest of the universe. That's all you know. There were some talkings on the station itself that there was this final push happening on Earth to try and stop the Reapers with some kind of crazy high-tech weaponry. But as I say, the relays just suddenly exploded and you didn't get any further information than that.
Okay. I'll relate that as best I can. And then...
So we just don't know, but we assume since we haven't seen Reapers in a long time that we won? Question mark? Is that where we're at?
This is true. We locked down the station for a long time and only allowed certain salvage missions to go on, which is what this one was. We are currently in talks of laying off the restriction and venturing out to some of the other planets to see what's happened, but yes, we're trying to keep it at a minimum in case any giant robots come out of space again.
With the relays, as they are, we're not going to do anything. For all we know, we could be the only survivors.
I guess cryopods could make a bit of a comeback.
Cheerful note on that.
That's not as encouraging as I was hoping to hear.
Well, at least the Reapers haven't invaded this place. Do you know who probably knows? Oh, actually, wait, no. That son of a bitch! He's been in cryo this whole time! Sorry, my brain just...
Yeah, I was in the process of getting him out.
Well... Where's the lawman? Is he here for this?
Yeah, he's stood relatively close to you. I guess you're all kind of like near the back where Teo's just kind of woken up the Hanar. There are the three other pods. Obviously, the one you know of is the Batarian. One of the other
Let's
ones
do-
that Trekmore in particular would know is the pilot of this ship, a female Turian pilot, and the third one you've not even checked yet to see who that is.
Yeah, let's wake the other ones other than my nemesis. I'll just kind of conveniently be leaning on his pod so people can't wake him up. Yeah.
Yeah, as Trekmore goes along and starts like tapping the other ones open, the Turian pilot comes out. She seems particularly exhausted and just kind of like glances up and starts praising you and saying spirits be upon you and stuff like that, or spirits blessings. And she goes and sits down next to Captain Pickett and starts having a bit of a conversation about having her pay increased, which seems like kind of a sore subject. Are you going to the final one as well?
Yeah.
Okay, and this one seems to be another Volus, which is of no relation to Captain Pickett, but seems to have the same kind of persona of him. He seems a bit timid and rather like, oh god, what's going on? Why are there squash bugs everywhere? And a bit of hyperventilated of his actual. I was going to say
How can you
inhaler.
even tell if they have relation or not?
Well, I meant more in Trekmore's instance knows that they're not related. The rest of you don't just suddenly look at him and go, yeah, he's not related to the other one. They look identical because they've got the exact same suits on.
He's got a different color. So they're definitely not family. You know what?
Just follow the right heraldry.
I might sidle up to the captain and just whisper, hopefully out of earshot of the lawman, just be like, "Say that item you picked up, it's not of any interest to the law, is it?"
As soon as you like come over and start saying about his orb, he starts like trying to. He's still sat down on the sofa. He tries to shuffle it away from you, still holding it in both hands, and he just goes, "Nah, no interest to any law, guys. It's just something I picked up on a interesting mission sometime."
Is that so?
Yep, just stumbled upon it. Nothing inconspicuous or evil about it, or whatever you're insinuating. It's not a weapon of mass destruction or anything.
Nobody said anything about a weapon.
Well,
but now my interest is piqued.
It's not packed with drugs either, if that's what you think. I don't know what you're insinuating, but stay away from my orb.
I'm just saying that maybe if you told me what it was, I'd be inclined to not turn it over to the good lawman here.
Well, I don't
Besides,
know.
Threatening to snip.
If the law needs it, and it probably will take interest. It looks mightily like a Reaper artifact. I'm 100% sure this is a Reaper artifact.
Definitely suspicious.
Stitches get snitches? No, that was the complete wrong way around.
No, that's the way it is.
But yeah, he just kind of like keeps staring at you, and he's trying his hardest to keep the orb on the opposite side from you. And he's just like, no interest whatsoever. I just picked it up. I don't even know what it is myself. It just has a nice effect. I like the look of it. And he like kind of like peeks under the thing and taps it, and you see like the swirls of blue inside.
Does he seem genuine that he actually doesn't know what it is? He's just kind of enthralled by it.
Do an insight check. Who are you calling a thrall?
Thrall.
Wow.
You're not sure. Again, it's hard to tell what Volus are thinking when their entire bodies are covered in a hermetic suit to protect them from everything.
You're a hard man to read. I guess it's fine. Oh no.
I want.
Well, thank you, Kage clan. That's it's quite an honor to say that about a person in my society.
Huh. Kage clan?
Well, yeah. I don't know where Kalint personally was born, but most Drell now live in Kaje.
Oh.
Most drill now not live, to be honest.
Wow, that was some dark humor there.
What?
Dude. When they say that, like, when they address people by clan, is it like...
Do you want to do a history
Should I-
check to see if you can figure it out?
I mean, well, should I like correct him that I wasn't born there?
Well, do a history
Is
check
that-
to see like why he would call you that. I mean, it's obvious.
What the fuck?
It's obvious that Kage is the homeworld of the Hanar, where majority of the Drell now live, which isn't an awful lot compared to pretty much every other species, since they basically killed
Yeah.
themselves off. But the Hanar saved them. But yeah, you're not sure why he would assume that, but you can always correct him if you want.
Just for chat, I rolled a 1 and then a 2.
Yes.
So,
So nat 1 on insight and then just abysmal on history. So
yeah. I'll be like, technically, I guess I'm Citadel clan.
he kind of
Not
like
that it's
he cocks his head at you, goes, "Drellborn on the Citadel? I ain't heard of that before."
Well, I thought maybe I tell you something, maybe you tell me something.
He holds up one of his like 3-fingered hands and starts like tapping his chin, and he goes, "Well, I did know a nice place on the other side of the Terminus systems. There was a good place to go get some interesting weaponry," as he points at your gun. But he's like, "But that's not particularly useful right now, is it?"
Maybe we discuss it later. I'll buy you a drink.
Well, if you want to talk business, I do know the siblings that run the Elkos Combine in on the Spirit of Autumn, so I could set up some talks for a price cut, of course.
I think perhaps we got off on the wrong foot initially. And I'll extend my hand and be like, when it comes to business, I like having friends.
He holds up his little 3-fingered hand again, and it's quite weird to shake this 3-fingered, suited up arm. But yeah, he happily shakes you and goes, "Yeah, you don't seem too bad yourself. Just stay away from my orb and we'll be okay."
All right, but you tell me if you start tweaking out or anything.
I
I don't know what that means. So Tretmore,
don't know if I should be offended.
Yeah.
Trey will be positively mortified at the prospect of Elkos combined guns.
Yeah. He said it out loud enough for everybody to hear, so...
That is like one trip to being a one-handed bandit there. Full stop, like one-stop shop.
Wait, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, if well, maybe you would know. For anybody that was on the station or has dealt in arms before, Elkos Combine is a cheap manufacturer of replica kind of arms and armory. Basically, the cheap knockoffs of the Milky Way. I was going to say the China of the Milky Way then, but that's probably not the correct way of putting it.
Oh
Anyway,
my.
yeah, they literally make like copies of other stuff, but a cheaper manufactured version.
Is there any? I wonder if there's any practical downsides to that. Whether they have like a misfire chance or something.
Oh, they don't have a misfire chance, but Gray is kind of like Gray is into guns. Gray is going to be snobbish about it.
Ah.
I mean, if it's a particularly bad one, the DM might give you a misfire chance, but...
Oh, he might. But yeah. Anyway, Trekmore, you've just woken up the other two. Now that Cullent's moved away from the final pod that's left, are you going to go open
Yes.
that one up? Excellent.
Oh, seeing that happen, I'm gonna drift close and just just have my hand on my hip where my gun's holstered.
I mean, you were probably like near the end of that conversation with Captain Pickett as you see the last pod just suddenly opening up, and it's like, ah, shit. And yeah,
Here we go again.
you walk over, and Trekmore, as you open this up, you will have seen this figure before. He is Batarian, not as heavily armoured as other Batarians you would have seen. Quite light armour that he's wearing. And
I want to stay close to my Hanar just so I can put myself in the middle of a stray bullet that might head their way, just in case.
Yeah, so you're just like in front of them, kind of like blocking them after your conversation. But yeah, the four eyes of this Batarian kind of like blink open, and a hand reaches up and scratches at some of the fur on the cheek, and a big yawn comes out as he steps up and stretches, and instantly his eyes just like flick to Clint, who stood there, hand resting on the gun.
Morning, princess.
I'll be like,
Turns out the Batarian is Trekmore's boyfriend.
What?
oh god.
Last seconds.
I'll be like, look what the fella dragged in.
Oh, hey, kid. Didn't expect to be seeing you so soon. You, looking a bit grey in the scales recently. How much time has passed?
Is he wearing my hat over it? By the way,
He's not. Oh,
He's not at the moment. He's literally in what kind of looks like just like a more skin tights kind of spacesuit. But as you're kind of like saying that, and he's like looking at you, he reaches under the compartment and starts like fishing stuff out. First thing he fishes out is a long kind of like trench coat jacket that he starts hutching on, which you've seen him in plenty of times. It's quite weather worn and beaten. But the next item that he does pick out is the hat, and he very much, as he's kind of like stands upright and stares at you with all four eyes, like pops it on his head, and everybody else sees this very similar to the one Clint's wearing, basic cowboy hat, and he just kind of like smirks at you and shows off his like sharp teeth and pops a cigarette in his mouth and just like lights it up with the orange glow from his Omni tool kind of like held up to his face. A little spark goes off and lights up this cigarette, and you see as he kind of like flicks back the trench coat, and he's got two pistols on either side of his hip.
you got a lot of nerve. That there hat's mine.
I think I won it fair and square, kid. You ain't good enough to strong-arm me, so you want it back? Let's have a little competition again and see who comes out top this time.
Huh.
I mean, I
What
can
the-
fill you full of holes again if you want.
What last time we fought, what impression did I get in terms of like one-on-one who would
Oh shit.
That's why I decided to place myself between them and the Hanars before this conversation started.
Like last time, you knew he was kind of like your mentor for years. He's quite an old and well-travelled Batarian. You knew that he got kicked out of Batarian space himself, which you've kind of got to be a badass to get kicked out by the rebels of the universe, and not be allowed in their space. I mean, he's not supposed to be on the Citadel in the first place, but that's where you first met him, and he trained you. He's very well skilled. Like on a good day, he could probably take down the whole team without any issues. You don't know whether there's any side effects from being in the cryo chamber for that amount of time, but he doesn't seem to be very lethargic, let's say.
Andrak literally has a tool to say if he has like over 3 levels in character levels or less.
Yeah, you know what the problem is? I didn't pick that tactic for my starting tactics. So I can do that after we take a long rest, but right now I can't.
I already know he has at least 5 levels in fighter, so I think he would beat me right now. So at least I found that out when he put like 3 holes in my gut.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'll go. Given present company, I think we can postpone our duel. Wouldn't you say, Jessier?
Fine by me, kid. I wasn't looking to put you down again. I mean, it's a pleasure to see you, really. Nice to see you made it out in one piece. Well, mostly.
I'll sort of gesture to the ship around and be like, "Is that how you escape then? Is this how you escape then?" Gesturing to the pods.
Oh yeah, I had my own mission. You got off the Citadel in your way. I just took a different route first before heading this way.
So who put you up to it? Why'd you do it?
Well, who's been our boss all these years? Who's the one that you betrayed?
I betrayed.
Oh yeah, she knew about your leaving plans for some time. Why'd you think I was just sat waiting for you?
I was gonna leave. I was gonna buy my way out fair and square. I glance to the lawman and see if he's taking an interest in this conversation.
He certainly is. He is. It's almost like Mexican standoff. Sorry, Andres.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. I love the expression.
It literally is like they're all just like stood, like looking at one another, like who's gonna do something first, holding on to their pistols. The most calm out of them does seem to be Jessier, but you can tell from Gavalus's look that he doesn't quite trust this new guy, and is just, well, you can't see Gavalus's eyes because he's always got the helmet on, but his head is just like snap straight towards the Batarian, staring at him, hands still on the holster of the gun, ready to flip it out.
I'll just be like, buying our way out has always been an option. That option was denied me. It wasn't I who turned against her. I was gonna buy my way out according to the rules. She broke the rules first. I'm gathering. She screwed up my deal, and then you come and mop me up.
Well, just sending a message, kid. It was nothing personal, like I said. It was just business. Would have been nice of you to stick around, but, well, you see, we're both in the same place now, stuck in the middle of nowhere.
I'll be like, well, you're my guest now, I suppose. I expect you to be on your best behavior.
He just kind of like smirks, takes a long drag of the cigarette, like pulls it out, and then just like flicks it on the floor.
Seems that way. Well, if you want, lead the way, kind sir. And he
Gives like a very over the top bow and flourish as his hand like waves forwards.
Fucking Christ. Oh no! What am I gonna do? This is like me leading fucking Sephiroth around.
Holy shit!
I'll kind of walk in past the lawman as if he's not gonna be any trouble.
Gavalus does kind of like, as soon as he sees you two kind of like sort of getting along, he lets his guard down an inch. He never fully lets his guard down, but he lets you go. He starts like looking around, like talking to some of the other survivors, the other people, and strikes up a conversation with Captain Pickett, seemingly asking about what kind of useful stuff is there on the ship and what can they take with them. Which he does seem to have some decent food supplies and gear and stuff like that he can bring with them. But yeah, they all start making their way and taking stuff off. Trekmore, you get asked by Captain Pickett to pick up the robot, which he calls Gates, because it's G8S. Very clever name that took Tom ages to figure out. Anyway,
I'm gonna call him William.
Yeah, I did say I would fix him.
Yeah, he wants to make sure that the robot's taken care of and put onto the ship and everything like that.
That's true. Nat was gonna.
Oh, I was gonna try and fix it.
Yeah. By the way, Nat, did you take the Omni tool?
I think I did,
Yeah.
because
Okay, okay. Did you like? I'm just making sure you've got it written down. I'll remove it from the thingy.
no, I don't. What was it?
It's called.
It's
It's
called.
an Omni tool, and it's called. Its model is Logic Arrest Mark 6.
Mhm. I believe it gave you +1 to medicine and a plus to healing. Whenever you heal someone or yourself.
I think it would be in gear. I think, wouldn't it?
It's
Yeah,
actually
probably.
part of the special
It's a
one.
new homebrew thing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it has its own thing in there too.
Shoot, where's that?
It's new items 2.9.
Yeah, I did link it in the thing at one
No.
point, but
+1 to medicine.
Or more specifically, copy of new items 2.9.
but yeah, that's the special Omni tool. It is a specific Omni tool used by doctors and medics.
Yeah, it's a +1 to medical checks and a +1 hit points per die when using Medigel. or
Oh
first
yeah,
aid.
so there you go. So +1
die.
per die. So as you go
Nice.
up the like the superior and stuff like that, it does give you a good bonus.
It'll have a certain amount of slots as well that you can put .x programs in.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
Everyone
the.
has them.
Yeah, you don't have any EXEs yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, I believe it's got 3 slots to put those in.
Nice.
Once you start getting programs and stuff like that, anyway. But yeah, basically start kind of like taking some of the most important stuff out. And Captain Pickett asks if somebody can help him with his TV at some point.
His giant TV we found.
What seems to be like the plan for removing the goo? Because like, what if it disappears? You know what I mean?
Well, it sounds like the conversation between Captain Pickett and Gabalus is they're going to have to leave the ship here, still drifting, because they can't really tether it and drag it because it'll be dangerous trying to take it into the docks that way. The salvage ship's not made to drag other ships along with it. You'd need a bigger ship for that to
I
kind of.
mean, they can bring it in closer, so that they would at least would be able to find it easier.
I mean, it's still got the beacon going off. That's what led them in the first place. So they could easily just leave it drifting for now. I suppose it runs risk of getting hit by an asteroid, but Captain Pickett seems more than happy to leave it here than just like getting destroyed himself.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
Would it be possible, since we got some power to the ship, do you reckon we could get it to move? Would we be able to repair it?
What, do you want to do some systems checks to see if you can get the engines running?
That might be a Nat thing. I'll assist Nat if I
No.
can with hacking somehow.
Though I will remind you that last time that Leah checked the systems, there were rogue turrets.
Yes.
Oh,
So if you mess around too much, you might get gunned.
maybe because I can hack, but I don't know ship systems, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what have you got, Nat? What have you got, like,
In what?
in terms of what?
I mean, tools. I've got hacking tools, starship systems, EWS, and I've got weaponsmiths.
What's EW?
Workbench.
Oh, yeah.
Electronic warfare suite.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So both of those are more. Would I be able to assist with hacking, or is this all on her?
No,
I have Starship System weapons.
Oh,
There we go.
so maybe we could salvage this. All right. So that's our plan, I guess. I'll propose it to the lawman and be like, say, actually, no, it's still the dude's ship, isn't it? I can't really. I wonder. I'll sidle up to the what's his name again? The captain,
Captain Pickett, yeah.
and just be like, if we get this ship of yours running again, what's in it for us? Since you like doing business, what could you offer?
Well, seems to me it's kind of fucked at the moment. The engines were completely annihilated from the explosion from the relay when we came through. That's kind of why we went to sleep in the first place. We couldn't fix it. For all the power that we had in the ship, we needed an actual dry docks to get to it and repair it with physical materials. Probably have to replace the whole engines, annoyingly. Ah well, I bought this thing for a pence in the first place.
I see. So it's probably not doable.
Maybe not today, but if we get it back to the Spirit of Autumn, we could possibly do something there. But I ain't bothered. If we're trapped in a star system, then that's the way it's gonna be.
So you
Yeah,
got
we ain't gonna be using it that much if we're just stuck here.
It is still a gigantic hulking pile of metal, which is also potentially omnigel if you're into it.
It's literally all Kreia sees is like, how much omnigel is this one object?
the entire ship became dollar signs to me.
It is a weapon, and it can be used.
I'd like to point out that that kind of weaponry is illegal in Citadel space, but you are in the Terminus system, so...
Yeah, and the only law that apparently exists is this Gabalusturian.
Well, he is part of a whole group, but...
I don't know that.
No, that is true. The one law guy you know out in the Terminus systems is this one Turian.
Do we gather that would the captain seem to mind if we I wonder, actually I'll ask him, I'll be like, say, so if we repair this ship, you care what happens to it?
I mean, it is still my ship. I suppose I could sell it to you, or I don't know, pay you for your duties or something like that, but I ain't got a whole lot of money until we actually get to the space station.
Alright, well, I'm just feeling out for options.
Yeah, for now, we'll leave it. I might get some salvage help and come back to it if I can get some engines and parts up and running.
Well, if you need assistance with that mission, shit, what's your character's name again now?
Leah.
Yeah.
You call her Shu, though.
Say again?
You sometimes call her Shu.
Yeah. I didn't want to call her Shu in front of him. It wouldn't make sense. But I'll be like, myself or Leah here. We could assist you.
Well, yeah, that would help, especially if there's going to be more bugs running around it when we come back.
Like, Quarian Head just kind of whips up from, like, where she's been examining gloved fingers, because she's just not paying attention. She's like, wait, what? What am I being volunteered for?
No bugs, I can assure you that. The bugs came through a black hole. So, a portable black hole thing. So you don't have to worry about it.
Wait, you saw that? Did that happen?
We saw a few of them just going into a hole and disappearing.
Oh, they went through the goo, didn't they?
The goo.
Yeah.
That's the technical term for it, yes.
Yeah, I guess there was their ship there, and it undocked and disappeared. That's my best guess, but
We might want to take a closer look at that from the outside or something.
Because they could still be here.
just hanging out.
Just holding on to the hull on the outside.
Oh, hey guys. We were just waiting here for you.
We went outside for a space coffee. And now we're back. I know.
Any of you
Now,
want to give yourself to
in
our
that
buddy
same
stars?
in that same accent, just say, "Well, hello, children."
Well, hello, children.
Well, hello, children.
Oh,
Nice
I'll
throwing
choose-
arm you got there.
Straight away becomes Herbert the Bird. Choose happen, young lady.
Moving swiftly on. So yeah, currently Jessier, the Batarian, is just sitting on the salvage ship with his feet up already, looking incredibly comfortable. He seems to have a sort of like a briefcasey looking thing, quite a chunky briefcase kind of thing with him. But yeah, he's just chilling out. Probably got another cigarette on the go. The Asari that Leah saved is very thankful. She's still relatively injured, but not too bad, and she's healing up. And kind of like says to Leah, like approaching you and offering her hand out in friendship, says, "I'll make sure the rest of the Narcos know what you did, and let them know that the Quarians can be a useful ally in this. We may have some future jobs for you if you're interested."
I mean, if you're paying me,
Oh, we always pay.
absolutely. Just don't trust every Quarian you meet.
She gives you a wink and says, "Well, I never rightfully trust most people. I think that's what got me this far. But keep a lookout for us in the future."
Just enthusiastic nodding.
She'll actually...
I love the name of the Narcos.
Namia's Narcos. Yeah. She'll actually send you her Omni-Tool number. I don't know how it works, but it connects, I guess, and then that's it. You can kind of like message and call each other and stuff like that. But yeah, is there anything else anybody wants to do before leaving Captain Pickett's ship behind?
Yeah, I'll turn to my Hanar's friends, I guess, and just ask, are both of you feeling alright? Is there anything you need before we move on?
No, this one is relatively cold, but will warm up shortly. We both appear to be okay, all thanks to your hard work. And they just kind of like start hovering along, I guess quite slowly, because Hanar never move fast whilst they're floating, and just float their way onto the salvage ship.
Okay, I'll simply ask of you that you remain close, where I can still protect you. I wouldn't trust most of these people.
Not even me. I call over from where I'm sitting opposite Jessier.
I especially wouldn't trust you.
Come on.
I don't have sufficient information to
I mean,
tell
just
if I
look,
can trust you or not.
just look at that stupid hat.
I'm currently looking shady as hell as I'm shuffling a deck of cards and dealing them out to Jessier. This looked like
He's a card shark and he wears a stupid hat.
This hat is of cultural significance.
It's stupid.
This
To
one,
humans.
this one is confused. We did study Drell history before becoming a politician. This one does not remember any signs of this particular garment in Drell law.
Told you, stupid.
So you know where the final stand against the Reapers was? It's from that planet. It's called Earth.
We see. Well,
So I'm told.
it seems fetching. Our culture and body size do not treat hats in such a way as your bodies do. But this one sees the need for your hat in your instance.
I still can't believe 90% of humans are made of water.
I'll be like,
I reckon we could get your friends some Hanar-sized hats.
That's a very funny mental image.
We do not have the facilities on our bodies to wear said hats. It would have to go on our spines, on our back, which would not look right, as this is not the head that the hat is supposed to belong on.
I'm so glad that there are Hanar in this campaign. Just hilarious.
May this one inquire, are you part of a compact? Do you serve Hanar yourself?
Me? I'm politically engaged. Currently under political employ.
I see. This is also Teo's job, and he has served it well. I hope whoever it is you are protecting is in safe hands.
Well, they certainly are. Fastest hands in this side of the Citadel.
I'll say, glaring slightly at Jessier.
They don't even know what hands are.
Holds up a
Sure,
tentacle.
they understand the concept.
I see. We do not know the concept of hands, but we do have a fierce grip. And it holds out a tentacle and goes, let this one play cards with you.
Oh dear.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be keeping such a close eye on this. I do not want them getting ripped off.
Oh boy.
That's quite quick with the whole card shark thing.
I'm just like their shadow. I'm just constantly looking at people
Let us
just next to them.
let us play purely for pleasure, as this one does not currently have funds in their account.
I'm still looking just as intensely at the game.
I wonder.
Well, that's fine. I'm sure Jessier needs to warm up anyway. Don't suppose you've got many credits after your long nap.
Me? I always have plenty of credits, much more than you, because I know when to quit usually.
Always quit too early. We'll play for make-believe money.
Alright. So yeah, we'll play some we'll see how
Yeah, let's have a little roll off and see who can win this.
should I do just a skill check?
Do your normal what's the name check with
Oh shit, I was
It's a
thinking.
tool check, right?
yeah, gaming tools, isn't it?
Thought you'd be playing like something like poker, then I remembered you actually play the best card game there is. Blind Man's Bluff.
My eyes. Hang on, where's my? So I have. Let me see. Advantage on checks to bluff. Is this a game I can bluff in? Oh, I suppose it is. Yeah,
It definitely is.
All right. Okay.
I think it's a game where you only bluff in.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you're truly true to the thing, but sometimes you aren't. Most of the time.
It's a good thing I had got that feat.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh shit.
Let's see if anyone can. 22 for the stream.
22 is not bad at all. So repeatedly.
Can I?
Oh, go on.
Can I don't know if it's like a contested check to call his bluff or something, and if I can assist one of my Hanars, whoever's playing.
So basically, the way the game is played, you put a card on your face, right? So you yourself can't see. So you rely on the bluff of the other, on the sincerity or the lack of the you know the lack of the skill in bluff of your opponent to give away what your result is.
So I suppose it would be like. Go on, sir.
I was going to say, I'm literally imagining that's what Kreia does. She takes one of the cards and just sticks it to the forehead, whilst the other guys are literally like playing gin or rummy or something, and they've got the cards in front of them.
Kreia is literally playing like on her
Oh,
own.
my
She's playing old Asari fighting games.
Ah, yes. But yeah, the Hanar doesn't do particularly well, specifically being that they've never really played card games before. It's a bit of a strange concept to them. Jessia gets close, but ultimately fails each round that you play. He knows some of your tricks, but not quite good enough to actually beat you, Clint.
I know new tricks now.
Maybe that's what it is. You've got the edge on him.
You've got 12 years of experience
Yeah.
over him.
Gonna kick
I'll
this.
just be like, what's a slightly passive aggressive line here? Like,
Looks like you've got some catching up to do. Perhaps some of my new tricks might get the best of you eventually, and I'll be taking that hat back.
I do regret teaching you cards in the first place, I must admit, but this is why we never played in the end days. I will admit this was fun, but not as fun as some other things.
He says, kind of like toying with the butt of his gun.
Not here.
Of course
Tell you
not. I would never imagine of sneaking on you in the middle of this small little ship in front of all these civilians.
I should.
Can you guys go have your lovers' quarrel somewhere else, please?
Oh, honey, he's far too young for me. I'm into much more mature types.
Even with
Speechless Quarian, which is somewhat unusual for Leah.
Clint is just quietly face palming, and it's just like,
how fast can you get off my ship?
So yeah, we'll go to a break in a sec, but first I'll do the whole. You check around Pickett's ship, and checking that top part where the hole is, you can see where it's kind of like buckled in, and it does look like something was latched to it. There are multiple kind of like little dents where it looks like something's kind of like hooked into it, about 6 of them, vaguely around the hole itself, but no sign of any actual Rachni around. Gavilas does tell you that there did seem to be this strange chitinous form on top of the ship, and that's what they were trying to shoot off of the ship itself, believing it to be some kind of threat. They hadn't noticed it to start with because it kind of just looked like part of the ship until it started moving. But yeah, you move off, and it takes a couple hours to get back to Cassier and where the planet the station is orbiting around. You actually pass near one of the other of the what originally was 4 stations. You can see it kind of like far off as you're coming towards the Spirit of Autumn itself, which is quite a large station around this very deserty looking planet. No moons to speak of, apart from just the space stations themselves. But yeah, the space station is huge. This kind of like it's formed like an ovaloid kind of shape, but looks like it's kind of got a bulbous kind of like part from, I would say, the bottom, but it's space, so you can't tell what's bottom and top. But it looks like something's been grafted onto it at a later date. Leah will know that this is actually where the majority of Quarians live, and they formed part of their own ships and a dead part of one of the other space stations and attached it to the Spirit of Autumn and live in there almost like quarantined away from everywhere else, so that they can live in their own little bubble because they're Quarians and they're allergic to everything. But yeah, the space station's huge. There's some soft blinking lights all over it, but you don't see any ships until you start coming into it, passing into the big kind of force fields that are the docking bay, and see rows and rows and rows of parked ships. Most have not been used for a long time, and begin docking the station itself. You have finally arrived at the Spirit of Autumn, which may be your home for the foreseeable future, since 2 of you have already been locked here for 12 years. But yeah, we'll take a break there just before you disembark and have to do a little bits here and there. But yeah, we'll be back in a couple minutes if You guys want to
So
get drinks?
is your break gonna be like off stream? Because I kind of want to try seeing if the Russian music bots work.
Yes, I'm going to turn the sound and stuff off. So if you want to try and do your Russian bots thing, that would be cool. So go for it.
That's a good idea. As long as it's copyright-free music, we should be fine.
Yeah, just make sure it's copyright free. But cool. Yeah, we'll be back in a sec.
Well done.
Cool. I managed to dyslexia the hold screen. Anyway, we're back, and you are finally on the Spirit of Autumn. It only took 2.5 sessions. But yeah, it's all systems go. As soon as you land, the bay opens, and
Here we go.
the normal members of the Spirit of Autumn just kind of like start wandering off. The pilots, like the human pilots, they're just gone, and the Asari, who's now best friends with Leah, they just wander off. But the rest of you get approached by what seems to be a Volus, flanked by kind of literal multiple members of different races. There's like a few humans, Turians, Asari mixed in there. All start bringing up Omni tools and start tapping on them, and little pads that they've got and tapping on them, and start trying to connect with your Omni tools to try and figure out who you are and do a bit of a security check on your backgrounds. For like the Hanar and Teu, there's no issues. They even kind of like give you little bows and are just like, "You're welcome here," and you can head off to the chapel of the Enkindlers soon. We just need to fill out some paperwork here, and you can be gone soon enough. Kreia, they kind of like go over yours and are kind of like turn to Gavalus himself and are like, "Do you want to let this Asari on? Got a little bit of a sketchy past," and he's just kind of like, "She seems useful, so we'll let it pass." Trekmore, when they get to you, they're like, what is your background? Where do you even come from? It doesn't have a planet of origin here.
Oh, I'm just a mercenary.
Just a mercenary. Oh god.
Wow, that's
So
loud.
loud.
There we go. Hey, it's working though.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, thank God.
We'll turn that down, that's for sure. That was very ominous. It's just like, I'm just a mercenary. Boom, 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 boom.
It's just a test. It's probably best I play with playlists later.
Yeah, it'll be fine for now.
I'll stomp this thing.
But yeah, they kind of like look at Trekmore, and it does seem like they're kind of like, well, we don't want to piss this guy off, but we kind of need to ask more questions. And like, so mercenary is your job title, but where is your origin? Are you part of one of the clans? Are you? Yep. And
No, I was tank bred.
okay. And they tap away and like, well, this should be fine, but just let it be known that the Blood Pack, or Clan Werelock as they prefer to be called on here, are around, and they don't take a liking to outsider Krogans. We often get some fights amongst them over clan space and stuff like that.
Don't scare me.
Yeah, kind of knew that was going to come. You're a Krogan after all, but yeah, you're fine to pass. All your details are in. If we ever need you for salvage missions and stuff like that, would you be welcome to sign up?
I wouldn't be opposed.
Excellent. And Captain Pickett literally like perks up at this and he goes, yes, Trekmore, that kind of is a good lead on for me to say that unfortunately I can't employ you anymore, so you're on your own from here. And sort of like cuddling his orb, starts slowly walking away from you. As soon as Jesse has finished with his little intro, he literally just like turns to you, tips his hat, and just walks off on his own in a random direction, seemingly.
Oh, hang on. There's one thing I wanted to ask him before he goes, and I'll be like, Jessier, is your mission for what would they call her? I think
What are you
the
trying to...
matriarch. I guess?
Oh, your matriarch.
Or would she have like a more informal name to be used?
probably in your situation and her background, let's say, she was always known as Matriarch Vasir.
I guess.
It's like a title thing, isn't it? Like the Godfather.
So, is your mission complete for the matriarch then?
Oh no, it's never over. I'm just here to deliver some things. And he kind of like
Taps the suitcase-looking thing that he's got.
But I'll be seeing you around, kid. I mean, it's only one space station after all. Might be a few million people here, but it's still too big for the two of us, eh?
And with that amazingly dramatic line, he just kind of like nods at you, gives you that almost evil smirk, and spins around and just saunters off.
Oh no. Get off my fucking spaceship, you son of a bitch. No. I don't like that.
But yeah, the Hanar turn around to you, Teo, and are just like, would you and your friends like to escort us to the Chapel of the Enkindlers?
I was actually about to suggest that myself. I'm quite curious to see what they've made here.
Excellent. Well, we don't actually know the directions, but I'm sure the Omni tools can lead the way. Or maybe one of the people that live here can direct us, as the Hanar kind of like, I guess, rotates towards Leah and Clint.
I think I do know, don't I? Because I know, what is her name? Aracia?
Yes, and she would have told you at some point. Oh well, I guess everybody kind of knows where the chapel is. It's an interesting place. Not a lot of people are actually allowed up there because it's at the upper parts where the lower classes are not allowed as much. But we'll move on from that one.
Being under the employ of certain height, I mean, I might be able to get a bit, eh?
Yeah, the Dalatras, like your entry goes pretty high because the Dalatras is one of the higher ups. It's quite wealthy, so she's up there. But yeah, if you wish to lead the way. Funnily enough, you mentioned said Ara as you kind of like leave the docks themselves and into this almost like a what's the word? Basically, this floor that you're on is just mostly warehouses and stuff, but people do come and go, and there are a few little shops and stuff here on this floor. But it's mostly storage and things like that here. But as you know this particular character, Ara, you see her sat with her painting easel just in front of the big windows that open up into space and kind of like over the docks themselves for the ships. And you can kind of like see her glancing your direction, just painting away hurriedly.
So she's not at the temple. I guess, yeah, I guess I'll go introduce them to her. And, I'll walk over and just be like, afternoon, Ara.
She bow, like kind of like gives you a very elegant bow, which isn't what she usually does, but it seems to be like in front of the Hanar. She does this kind of like bow and opens up her arms and goes, "Greetings for the Enkindlers on you, Kalint, and to your fine compatriots." And she starts like bowing to almost everybody, pretty much individually. Ara herself is another Drell, but her most striking feature is that she's an albino, so her scales are completely white, and her, in like Kalint and Tayo's cases, they've almost got completely solid coloured black or whatever coloured eyes. Hers are like this pinky red kind of colour. But yeah, female Drell. She's wearing quite simple, almost like robe-like clothes, but more like tightly fitted kind of robes than some big puffy thing. But yeah, she bows to you all and blesses each of you individually. Blessings from the Enkindlers.
I take my hat off when I'm speaking to her. Just be like,
picked up a few I wouldn't call them strays, but lost sheep, I guess, is the phrase you could use.
I see. This is actually the politician that my master in particular was waiting for many years ago. We thought you had died, to be honest, in the war after the relays had exploded. And the Hanar kind of like gives a little bob in the air and goes, "Yes, this one was worried when the ship was damaged, but we have eventually made it here and request entry to the Chapel of the Enkindlers." Which again, she kind of just like nods and goes, "Of course, of course. Well, we'll go there soon. Clint, you obviously know the way. Do you want to lead them there? I'm just finishing up my little test here," as she kind of like waves at the big painting that she's got.
I'm gonna sneak a peek at the painting and just be like,
Mind if I
just sneaking a look.
You notice,
Yeah, I was also gonna ask what she was painting.
Yeah, the two other Drell kind of like peek around and look at it. She's got the basis of what looks like the doorway out of the docks, and the it's that almost like this big panorama of the starry sky outside as you're slowly rotating on this spaceship. She's got it all kind of like all the location stuff set up. Like there's various plants and trees around. It's quite a nicey little area, almost like a bay itself would be at sea, with these kind of like trees and flora and stuff around. But she seems to have individually started painting the different people that have walked out of the doors. So you can see she's got a quick kind of like outline drawing of Jessier, one of the Taurians, a couple Volus and stuff like that. And then she's started drawing what seems to be your 5 figures and the 2 Hanar in kind of like stick figures coming out and towards you. So it's like she's got each individual person that's just walked through that door panned out.
Huh.
Well, you get better every time.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how good is the painting?
I mean, at the moment, it's just like a basis. It's not like coloured in or anything like that. She seems to have quickly like drawn certain elements, like the stars in the sky and stuff. That seems to be finished. Like it's all black with the paintings. That part looks quite nice. But you can tell that she is of some considerable skill, as she's quickly drawn like an anatomy of each person quite quickly, but very defined in their stances and stuff. Especially for like a Krogan, you can see she's drawn a Krogan-styled skull rather than just like the more humanoid skulls of most of the party.
I'll just go impressive, considering how little time it has been since we came through.
As I say, it's just a quick sketch. It's lucky for our species that we have such good memories. I can just picture it in my mind and carry on from there.
Well, and what is this painting for? Is it gonna be in the chapel?
Yes, the master does like to have some of my paintings up. Specifically when we have new people, he likes to sort of spread out and show newer people and different styles and stuff like that to passers-by and things.
Yeah, I'll just smile at that and say, yeah, great. Yeah, we should all show our devotion in whatever way we can, and beautiful art is a great expression of that.
Meow. Yes, this is true. All our skills are useful to our benefactors. It is pretty much my sworn duty to do this. It's not my only skill, but at least now there's 5 of us. And she looks at Kalint and kind of like nods.
It looks a little bit awkward. It's just like,
I don't know if I should be included in that number just yet, but I'll tag along if you want me to.
Well, not all of us may be sworn to the Enkindlers, but your interest in the the ancient ways. Does not go unnoticed, but since we're a diminished species these days, those Drell should stick together.
I can agree with that.
I agree as well. I'll look forward to getting to know you all better, all five of us that are apparently here.
5 plus you 2, Hannah. Yeah. She kind of like gives you a nice smile and holds out a hand to you in particular, Teo.
Oh yeah, I'll shake her hand. Also, I just want to point out, yeah, I know it was like a really weird interaction. I'm trying to do that with this character.
Guys, I'm purposely being weird, I promise.
Yeah, I'm not like this in real life, guys, I swear.
That's cool. She shakes your hand. You do get a bit of paint on your hands. It's mostly black because that's what she was doing the sky part with. She says, I may see you in the chapel at some point, but you best be on your way. I do not want to keep our guests any longer. And she gives another bow and then goes to sit back down and carry on painting.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'll say,
Come on, I'll show you the way to the temple.
So yeah, you make your way through what is essentially the docks and warehouse level of the station. It's relatively empty. There is the odd people like humans and stuff going past that seem to be fetching stuff from various warehouses or fixing various things. At one point you do see there seems to be like sort of like a garage kind of place where they're fixing up sky cars and stuff like that. Seems like the deck to do it on. But your particular goal takes you a little while to walk to the centre where there are multiple lifts or elevators for other people that you can go in and get up there. They're quite large lifts, but there's multiple ones of them in this great big circle in the centre. You get in one and you press like 2 floors up and start heading up to this other level. And once the doors open to this one, this place is extravagant. This place is even more like big and wide than the docks. And there are various like plants and light colours and everything here. It's almost like a painting itself, just like all these beautiful blues and purples and stuff like that, kind of like lighting up the area. There's water features and stuff like this. This looks like a top tier kind of area where they've put a lot of money into making this look grand and nice. The buildings themselves are all fancily shaped, not just like box and square and stuff like that. But as Clint leads the way, you can kind of see it once you get closer. This Chapel of the Enkindlers, as a sign outside kind of announces it, kind of like a neon floating sign. It's not just like an actual stand, it's like a hologram kind of thing. But there's like a fancy kind of like paving that goes up to it that almost like seems to have this blue rippling effect, almost like a wave that goes up to the front of it. And the building itself seems to be one big glass dome that touches the roof at the top. So it's not like a complete orb, it kind of like goes up smoothly, curved. You can't see into it, but it is definitely like this glass kind of like structure shining light off of it. As Clint leads the way through these big double doors that open up automatically, as soon as you go in, there is this almost like aquatic light in there. You know that effect when sometimes you're in an aquarium and there's light shining through the water and it does that snaky kind of motion across the floor? It's like that basically, moving water constantly. As you see that going inside, you do seem to be like in one giant fishbowl. The room you're in has glass all the way around it, leading into this water, which is teeming with all sorts of colourful fish, large and small. You can even see, like, just slightly further in, there are actually Hanar in the water, swimming around at quite some speeds, going around in it. But there's all sorts of, like, kelp and seaweed and stuff like that. Various different colours. It's obviously an alien kind of world in there. It's not the same greens that we get, but various luminous kind of plants and stuff like that. The small area you're kind of in, it's not that small, but there seems to be several pods of like little chambers that go off of it. They seem to be made for more land walking animals, whereas obviously the most of this place is this giant kind of aquarium. And you see above you, as you come in, another hologram of some kind of like, it looks almost like a space station itself, but it's sort of in the image of a jellyfish kind of structure. But you can tell it's supposed to be some kind of station or building of some sorts that almost resembles the Hanar themselves, but in an extravagant way. But yeah, you come in and the Hanar seem quite excited actually, Teo. You can tell in particular from the way the lights are pulsing on them in this communication that they usually do. They're very at home here and excited to get into the water and be where they're supposed to be rather than floating along with you landlubbers.
Wow, I must admit this place is a lot more beautiful than I expected first coming here.
Yeah, it always calms me down. Look, I don't know much about the religion myself, but I've just taken to hanging out here.
Well, we don't all need to be scholars, but if this place calms you down, and I heard you call the shoe before.
Yeah, she's my own goddess of protection.
Right. Well, while that is a bit of a liberal interpretation of that deity,
So Pete doesn't remember what was her full name again, and where is the
Arashu.
Arashu? I need to actually look up.
What the different gods are.
Yeah.
The one I always remember is
According-
Kalihira, which is the huntress one.
Kalahira.
Kalahira? No, that's of the oceans and afterlife,
Oh,
according
yeah,
to the
yeah.
Mass Effect 5e.
Sorry, yeah, that's right, because that's the one they say in the prayers after. Well, spoilers for an old game. Thane dies.
Wow. I guess everyone who hasn't played Mass Effect 3 just get fucked.
Yeah. get
Yeah,
fucked.
Tom.
Go play Mass Effect. Legendary Edition. It's probably on sale somewhere. Get it, play it, whatever.
Or be a better person and play it with mods, with whole stuff.
If you can mod it, sure. But yeah, Mass Effect 1, 2, 3, play those, then go on our YouTube channel and start watching this again. Okay?
Maybe play Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Again,
Not 2, and then you know what I mean.
mod those as well.
Well, anyway, what Tayu was attempting to say was, well, even if that's a liberal interpretation, your heart seems to be in the right place.
Sorry, go ahead.
I could teach you if you're interested, though I suppose it's not like you didn't have teachers before, as I look around.
I'm always open to additional interpretations. It's not. I don't know anything about it. But I've listened to her I've listened to what was her name again?
Aura?
Yeah, I've listened to Ara talk about it for a while. She seems to be fine with me just absorbing it. But I had a near-death experience thanks to Jesse, who you met earlier. I suspect he's going to cause me to have another near-death experience. But before that, I'd started to have, I guess, dreams, I suppose you could say. Like, I started to feel that there was something after death. It turns out that I was right. Well, I know there's something after death.
Well, that's positively fascinating. I I just start like open up a notepad or something, and I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm just trying to keep calm, but I need to hear more of this.
I'm good, like, Clint's getting, like, visibly uncomfortable, and he's just like,
I'm completely oblivious to you. I have a 7 charisma, my guy.
Well, the Hanar float up to you, and one of them kind of like looking at you. You're not quite sure which one is male and which one's female. They look identical to you, but they look at you and they go, "This one would be glad to teach you in the ways of the Enkindlers, if that would help you. We have known they have blessed us with these magical gifts of speech and technology that others can understand us. But for now, we will go join our people. There's much to discuss. My husband here will be taking his rightful place as a leader amongst the Hanar, and we would gladly accept all Drell that come under our compact and help, since we have helped your kind for a long time, and you are of the same breed as us, as it were."
Agreed.
do I know anything about what they...
You're just getting inducted into our cult.
I'm kind of...
All sounds a little. Give me some time to think. I'll be back. I mean, I'm always here anyway.
I like to think Leah is just stood awkwardly in the back for a little bit before she's just like, you know what, I'm gonna go find a computer to mess with. It just wanders off.
Yeah, the Hanar's just like, "Yes, it is much to take in at first, but we believe that you will understand in due time." It gently, like, kind of puts its tentacle on your shoulder, which seems to be a reassuring kind of thing in its case. And they go, "We must be going now. We see our friend is coming." And you see another Hanar has kind of like come out of what seems to be like this airlock kind of bit of the aquarium kind of thing. It sounds mean calling it an aquarium when there's like living people in there, but I'm going to stick with it.
Aquarium.
Well, no,
That's
the Drell aren't in there, the Hanar.
Yeah, no,
Hanar Aquarium. But yeah, this other Hanar has like emerged from this airlock, and they begin floating over. And
Yeah, I'll bow to them as they leave and say, if you require anything, you know how to reach me.
Of course, for now, your mission is complete. We thank you greatly, and as we say, we will honour you when the time comes. And they both kind of give you this, for you particularly, Taylor, that you know, they give this sweeping kind of like bow where the tentacles go out, and it's almost as if an embrace kind of thing, but it's like an air embrace. You know, COVID rules, don't touch, but yeah, yeah, they do that to you, which is quite an honourable thing for someone so high up to be doing that to basically their servant. But yeah, they turn around and they kind of like glide over to this other one, and you begin to see their communication between themselves, like this flashing lights and stuff like that. And you swear one of the things they say to this new Hanar figure that's approached is, "We apologise for our lateness. We hope everything is prepared," as they sort of like go off and into this airlock, and you see the water fill up and they just swim away quite fast. As soon as they're in the water, they just speed away.
That's suspicious. I'll look at Kalint and try to see if he saw that communication happen. I assume he didn't because he doesn't have the eye.
No, Kalint does not have the special eyes, so he wouldn't have seen that. My brand.
Shit. I mean, I guess I'll be like... Oh, wait, so just for Pete's brain here, so the Drell gods and the Hanar, how are they actually connected again?
They're different.
They're not.
They're completely different. So Drell had their gods on their own planet, like we do for our planet. because they're two completely different species. A lot of Drell, when they were saved from their planet after they completely fucked it up, took in the Enkindler religion, which is the Hanar one, which is purely based on the predecessors, the Protheans, giving them technology and granting them the ability to speak and create things and stuff that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to achieve. So they revere this previous race that came well before all of your races, the Protheans, as gods.
Is that well known by Drell?
Yes, it would be. I think every race knows what the Hanar are all about, because most of them are almost this cult-like obsessed with the Enkindlers and this religion. Not all of them, obviously. There's some outliers and stuff like that, but it is like one of their main things.
Yeah.
So your character, well, I suppose I'll say to him, I'll be like,
So, where do you stand in terms of the Enkindlers versus our religion? Is it a choice, or
Well, I'm sure some see it as a choice. I don't particularly feel connected to the Enkindlers, though I do participate in much of their customs as part of the service to my... I don't know if I should refer to them as masters. That feels weird.
shit.
I don't know.
There's a word for that.
Benefactors, I think, is the best word.
Benefactors, sure. Yeah, so as part of the service to my benefactors, I have always been a bit torn, though, about the old ways and the many gods that come with that. Not entirely sure what to believe.
What did I sort of see when I was like that close to you?
I think that's up for your interpretation. What does anybody see once they are dead? Briefly.
That requires reading by Pete.
It's probably not a conversation you just bust out to a bunch of people you've only just met anyway.
Yeah. In any case, I understand the cultural significance of the Enkindlers to the Hanar, and respect them as is appropriate. Just as much as I understand and respect the old ways to those of us that still follow them.
I think if I was gonna go by my gut would be that I would be drawn to the old ways myself.
Right.
But-
I understand it. We don't know each other too much, but at some point you will have to tell me about what you saw. That
Well, I suppose religion's experience is our best experienced, best recounted over drinks. I think there's a few other people we need to speak. Well, there's a few other people I've arranged to speak to over drinks. So I suppose we can do that then as well.
I thought you were going to offer to kill him. It's like, it's best experienced yourself, and then just shoot him in the head.
want to shoot you.
I'll be like,
Yeah, maybe I'll tell you over a drink sometime.
basically.
I would much appreciate that.
And sort of interrupting the conversation, Clint, your Omnitool beeps with a message. And as you go to check that, it is from Dalatras Lahim herself. asking
It
that
Just
you.
says you're lame.
You suck.
Like, she's like, you suck. But like, shut up.
It just says that she urgently needs your help with a particular request, and that you should bring your new friends that you have just met. Literally saying that. It's not unknown to you that she often keeps an eye on, well, not just you, but a lot of her people, mostly children.
Eyes everywhere.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be like,
I have just received a message from my benefactors as well. Would you mind accompanying me to see her? She's the Dalatrass of this station.
Benefactors.
I suppose while my own benefactors don't need me to do anything, I might as well.
How
Alright.
about we try not be owned for a bit?
Oh, I've got nothing better to do.
all right, I'll round up all the people, go find Leah, be like, where's Leah gone?
She's kind of just wandered off.
Hopefully she's not like disassembled something electronic and electrocuted all of the
No.
fish.
She'll probably go to wherever it is she normally stays while on the station. I assume she has a room somewhere.
Yeah, probably in the Quarian quarters.
Yeah.
Which is more.
She probably just goes to sit on her cot and just tinker with random parts of electronics that she has.
Oh, are you fixing the robot? Did you bring that?
Oh no, I didn't. Oh yeah, what happened to them? Where is the robot actually? What
Well,
did they do with it?
Captain Pickett will still have it at this time because he brought some
Yeah.
stuff with him. Specifically, he kept the orb. Let's just keep mentioning the orb all the time. And his
trying to
robot.
make me talkative from it, but I don't know if I did my character.
In which case, yeah, no, she would probably go to wherever that robot is to attempt to fix it.
Sure, yeah,
Since-
he's still at
Since he
like
said
the
he was
warehouse level.
gonna
Oh yeah,
buy, he was gonna pay a lot.
he would pay a lot to get that fixed. Yeah, if you want to do a check to see if you can at least partially repair this thing, it's going to take
Yeah.
quite a bit.
What kind of check?
Engineering.
Electronics?
Ooh, that's not bad. You're going to need some parts, but you at least get started on getting rid of the acidic corrosion parts. But yeah, you're going to need some electronics for inside and stuff like that to repair
You
it
know
properly.
what? She'll probably give him a list of parts that she needs for him to source. Well, to buy.
Mhm.
If he wants this thing fully operational.
Yeah, he gets quite excited when you give him this list, and he's just like, "Yes, I'll get on it straight away." And it starts like tapping into his Omnitool almost immediately. It looks like he's ordering parts on whatever this space station's version of Amazon is.
Spacey Baba.
Space Amazon. But yeah, if you want to round up everybody, Clint, and start heading towards the Lahim family abode, you're going to have to go much higher up at the station itself, quite high up on the elevators, almost to like the very top one, which is purely reserved for the Turian guys. But yeah, I think we'll leave it at that point as you're approaching this place, which is a very grand, almost like mansion-like place, but a lot more. What's the right word for it? It's a lot more curved and arched and stuff like that, rather than it being like a brick kind of building. It's made out of this white, almost like molded material. There's multiple layers that actually have kind of like balconies and stuff like that to look at. There's Solarians all over the place. Clint, you know that most of these are the male children of either the Dalatrass herself or her daughters, who just go about menial tasks and work and stuff like that, but a lot of them live in this place that can actually be held up here. But yeah, you start to walk into this magnificent mansion. They've obviously put a lot of money into this. and it's huge, very very stylized as well in various Solarian techniques. There's actually a statue outside as well of what is obviously a Solarian body, not depicted in any clothes, but there's nothing like anatomic that would be considered not safe for work in this case. But it appears to be kind of like almost as if it's leaning forwards with its legs sort of like arched backwards, and it has these strange looking, almost like wings coming out of it, but not feathered and stuff like that. It kind of looks like the shape of a wing, but vaguely. So basically it looks like a flying Solarian, which is part of the symbol for the Lahim family, is this it's a very ancient looking symbol. The one they usually wear or have on their armor and clothing is this flying figure of a lanky kind of like Solarian with the horns and everything visible, with these wings coming out of it. But yeah, we'll leave it there for now. You'll get your next kind of like little mission next time. But yeah, hope you enjoyed.
Nice.
There was a lot of setup there for future stuff, and well, there'll be even more setup next time, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting. We're getting to know the characters a little bit more. We've got to poke Kreia a bit now to get some stuff out of her.
Yeah.
I've been very busy with the bot.
It's all right. Thank you for doing that. But yeah, we'll get something out of Kreia. She's not all bag. There is an Asari in there somewhere.
So they say.
But yeah, for anybody viewing this, please check us out on YouTube, or if it's the other way around, please come on to Twitch. We stream Wednesdays at 8 p.m. GMT. And just give us a follow if you like this kind of stuff. We'll be here for some more time, although I am away at the end of this month, so there'll be a couple of weeks that we don't do it, but we'll get around to that at the time.
Alright.
But thank you, everybody.
What was that?
Shaping up.
Interesting.